as I promised, today I'm going to talk about Anne's House of Dreams and Anne of Ingleside. So, as I already told you on my last video, Anne got married to Gilbert Blythe, who is now Dr. Blythe. They moved to Four Winds to their House of Dreams. This is a small house, exactly the way that Anne built on her mind. And our Anne girl is now Mrs. Dr. Blythe, or as her hired girl, Susan, used to call her, Mrs. Doctor or Mrs. Doctor dear. So on this one, they start their married life and they couldn't be happier. In this book, we meet some new characters who become Anne's and Gilbert's friends. One of them is Leslie. Leslie is a beautiful girl who lives near Anne's house, and Leslie is married to a man who she doesn't love. Another character that you will meet in this book is Captain Jim. Captain Jim is an old man who is full of stories. You will love him. And a character that I particularly love is Miss Cornelia. Miss Cornelia is an old maid who lives near Anne's and Gilbert's house too, and she absolutely hates all men in the world, except for Gilbert, because Gilbert she tolerates. Every time that she's saying something about a man, like if she wants to tell something that a man did, she finishes with the sentence, just like a man. Or she asks, isn't it just like a man? And most of the times she's saying something bad. So for example, oh, he drank again and came home and broke the gate. Isn't it just like a man? But not everything is good in this life, so be careful. Spoiler alert. Anne gets pregnant with her first child. And when she has the baby, it is a girl, she calls her Joyce, to have the nickname Joy. She says she has been happy before, but she met real joy when she had the baby, when she became a mother. But unfortunately, joy just lasts 1 hour. Literally. The baby doesn't survive. We go through a tough time here until everything gets better again. It was a really difficult time for Anne. In the story, you don't realize that she's pregnant almost until the end of the pregnancy, like almost until the time that she has the baby. They give some hints, but if you're not paying attention, maybe you won't notice that. But yeah, little Joy didn't survive. That devastated Anne. It was really difficult. It takes a long time until Anne manages to be better again, to feel better. She never forgets her first child. She never forgets Joy. But she manages to go on with life. After some time, she has another baby that survives, thank God. She has a boy, and she names her baby James Matthew. James Matthew Blythe. James, after Captain Jim, that is the character that I told you that becomes a really good friend for them. And Matthew, named after our lovely Matthew Cuthbert, that was the first person to love Anne after her parents died. And he's not with us anymore. But I'm not going to tell you in which book he dies because I don't want to spoil everything. Another thing is that Diana Barry, who is Anne's friend from their childhood, has a baby. She has a girl and she calls her baby Anne Cordelia. Because remember I told you, Anne would love to be called Cordelia when she was a kid. So something else that I almost forgot to mention. Remember, Anne hated to be red-haired. So guess what? Her first baby has red hair. And she got really upset about that when she saw it. Something else that I love about Miss Cornelia is that she never talks bad things about another woman. She defends that women should be united and not against each other. Miss Cornelia also divides all folks in the world into two kinds: the lot that knows Joseph and the lot that doesn't. So I will read to you what she says. If a person sort of sees eye to eye with you and has pretty much the same ideas about things and the same taste in jokes, why, then he belongs to the race that knows Joseph. And this is the same thing that Anne calls kindred spirits. Anne met many kindred spirits during her life, and two of them that are very important to the story are Diana Barry, her friend from the childhood, and Matthew Cuthbert. Anne says she can almost feel Diana's thoughts. They have a soul connection. Really, it's impossible to go through this story without falling in love. In the end of Anne's House of Dreams, Gilbert decides to buy a bigger house because he thinks that this one where they live is too far from the village, and he is the doctor of the town, so he needs to be near to his patients, and also because the house is not so big and they are planning to have more kids. Anne doesn't like the idea of leaving her house of dreams, but in the end she agrees with her husband, and they move from the house of dreams in Four Winds to another house that they call Ingleside. And on the book Anne of Ingleside, it's been 7 years already since she's married to Gilbert Blythe. They have 5 children. Baby number 6 is on the way. They're happy living here. I haven't finished yet, but I already met the kids. On this book, Anne says that she loved being Anne of Green Gables. That was the place that she lived with Matthew and Marilla, and that is also the name of the first book, Anne of Green Gables. But she says she loves more being Anne of Ingleside. She loves more being Gilbert's wife and also her children's mother. So the names of her kids, if you're curious to know, the first one I already told you is James Matthew. He is known as Jem. She also has 2 other boys that are Walter and Shirley, and she has twin girls. One of the girls is Diana, named after her best friend, and the other girl is Nan. And baby number 6 that will be born on this one is Berta Marilla. Lovely, right? So, obviously, she's named after Marilla Cuthbert, and she is known as Rilla. We will know more about Rilla on the last book of the series, that is Rilla of Ingleside. I am very curious to read this one to know what will happen. Well, I will continue reading Anne of Ingleside, and in the next video I will tell you what else happened here. I will also talk about book number 7 that is called Rainbow Valley. I hope you guys liked it, and I will talk to you on the next video next week. Thank you. Bye.